So, however it is that I get my arm to the other side of the head, I'm here, I get my elbow in, and I start trucking myself up. And I'm in that good position to cut over. If I just try and like sit up as I go for it, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not that strong. I really have to go to my left first. I'm pushing off my feet to bridge this way, and then I get up. So it happens at the same time, but I really go to bridge before I try to get up to my elbow. And like Carl's a big man. If I keep trying to go, I might not get it, and I'm pushing, and he's basing back, so I'm just getting to some sort of guard where my knee and elbow on the inside is connected, and I can start creating a way, whether I want to get into closed guard, butterfly, whatever it is. So I'm moving my arm over, I'm getting my forearm into the hip, and I'm crawling myself up. I'm rolling hard. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't get it. But we're here, I'm tucking in, stepping over, and I'm never letting go of this hand to reach up for that arm. I'm here, elbow to elbow, and now I'm here. Next one. This one requires you to get this arm to the inside and on the other side of the hip. But his arm is where I need it to be on this one. So I'm just going to sneak my arm in and get my hand down. What I'm doing is I'm going to hold his elbow just for a second. I'm going to push myself away with my feet, so my hips are just kind of moving out a little bit, and then I'm basically bicep bumping to get my head down. Coming out. What you'll run into oftentimes is this shoulder. If this shoulder is giving me really good pressure, like I need to get myself underneath his chest before this often works. If he's got no pressure here, like, yeah, sure, I can just like slip right through. But oftentimes, I need to get in and get myself underneath that shoulder to shin pressure, or shoulder to chin, yeah. And then I'm here. The more I'm underneath, the more I'm getting into that chest is where I want to be. I want to create some space here, holding that elbow, and then riding myself out. Oftentimes looking to just come up and be in this head knock. Now it will take you some fighting to get this arm to the other side. Oftentimes, like if I can't get my elbow in, I'll bicep bump here, and now I can pull my elbow in. I can reset, I can look to get myself under. Part of it is holding this elbow. If I don't hold here and I go to flip myself out, like he can change this arm position anytime he wants. Trying to get out and then he goes north-south. I am stopping him from going north-south really just by holding here. It works in gi and in no gi. There's a little bit more fabric here, so it'll work a little bit better to hold, but it makes the swim out a little bit hard also. I'm just creating some space. Does that make sense? Alright, work on that with your buddy. Chaz made up this move before he realized it was a move, so now we just call it the chop. It's the same general concept. I'm here, I'm getting myself out, but as I'm here, I'm switching my hand from the tricep to basically the back of the head, or the opposite side shoulder, and I'm going into an S grip here. And I I'm going into an S grip so I can keep this elbow on the other side of me. So I want to be here, not relaxed, where he can get that arm across. So I'm here, and I'm going to keep my elbow down. I can go gable grip, but I like S grip a little bit more. And I'm going to walk my feet into his head and beyond. So we kind of tip off to the side here, and I'm going to shoot into a darce. Keep walking. Right. It is really nice if you can catch it. It's just oftentimes you'll catch someone with this once, and then they'll never let you do that to them again. Because as soon as they feel that setup, they'll back up. So you do get out of side control, but so we're here. I'm getting myself off that chin or off that shoulder. I'm here, and I'm creating space here, through, and pulling in. I'm keeping my elbow down and close so I can kind of really push it to the back of his skull. And I'm just knocking him over as I walk in. Get up to that bicep and continue to walk in. Like this.
At what point do you realize that you're
Oftentimes, like Chaz will do it where he'll have this, he'll get up here and be here, and then he'll just get through. So he's already set up. If I feel somebody going through, or even if I just feel like this start to happen, I realize where we're going, and I'll generally, like if I don't have good control, and I know he's about to swim through, I'll just back up and be there, essentially. I don't have quite the same control of that elbow that I do here, so if I'm swimming, he can move that arm to the other side, and just go into north-south as well. So both of those options for him are great, and so this is really just kind of like a fast move that can happen. You just have to plan ahead of like whether you're going for it or not. Yeah. No question about that. And then we're just going to do another basic escape, getting my arm in. Oftentimes, if I could just get like both of my hands on this elbow, or sorry, this shoulder, it's really good. And so I can just like push a little bit so that I can free up some space between my chest and his chest. And sometimes I just need to pick my body up off the ground and then drop it faster than he does, just so I can swim through it. We're here. And he's going to do whatever he's going to do. Maybe, yeah, he'll whizzer, and now we're up into this dog fight. And whatever it is that you want to do, you can reach over, pinwheel, lots of options, but it does get you up and outside. So I'm here, and I want to get my elbows to that inside, so I have enough of ability to lift him up off my body. I lift, I shoot through, and here's where I kind of have to move a little bit quickly too, because if I'm just like here, he's going for like guillotines, he's going for darces, all of that's really available. So I need to like, be in close so that my head's not just hanging out to the side. And I can just start to run him down if I want to, or if I really want to get into my dog fight. Does that make sense? Cool. Everybody. Practice going for that char with the ghost escape and then the arming. It can really depend on where your guy ends up. So going back to the first escape that we did. We're here, we're walking ourselves up, or we're walking him down. Depending on what he can do with this arm and what he decides to do with it, can give us other options too. So as I'm driving here, maybe he does like put his arm out to there. I can absolutely catch it and be here, and then feed it through, and now I just turn into him, and it's a Kimura, key lock. But it can also work for just getting my arm here, here, sliding it through. And I don't normally finish these triangles. A lot of the time, I'm looking for this arm bar, and so I have to get up onto my side a little bit more, or a Kimura here. I can also go with the reverse Kimura. It's the same thing. I just kind of change my hands a little bit, and I can still get it. So, fun things for you to play with if you want to. You don't have to get it perfect the first time for sure, but we're just moving up, driving away, and he puts his hand up. This gives me lots of things that I can do with that knee, whether it's just walking up to my triangle, and for that, I really want to think about driving my knee away and then stepping on his elbow. This way, as my leg slides out, I still have that arm trapped. Keeping him down, stepping up and over, and just locking him. From here, that Kimura. The arm bar is hard because I'm generally pulling into me and I don't have space, so I need to create some space to be able to get it. I can also reach that. And if you have like good proportion of legs to limbs, I can just attempt to hold on and step through and weave. And now I'm just crunching down here, because if I let him pull up and like get away from me, it'll be really hard to turn in without him like changing angles. So I'm just holding down, and I'm just moving my hips really gently. Do those two make sense? Now, I don't generally recommend the key lock one. It's really hard to get, so unless you're feeling feisty, like, don't worry about it too much. One also is when people sit into scarf. What you'll often find is very few people pay attention to this arm right away, and so they'll just kind of sit into scarf. And my absolute favorite thing is getting my hand to the inside when this happens, because generally people start reaching up for my lapel, my head, whatever, and I'm just looking for this elbow. Elbow, drive, and get up on top. Which is why it's so important to have control of this arm if you sit to scarf. But if I feel people sitting to scarf, like, I'll be here. Like, I'll just bring my arm in, because all I want is for this arm to come up and out, and I'm driving for that elbow, and I'm getting my elbow to the floor. Oftentimes, if you get a really good person who's done wrestling or has dealt with this before, he'll turn his hips down and he'll like just back away, and so we end up in neutral, and I won't be on top, but I often just end up still in neutral. And north-south. I don't like north-south for me personally. Getting out of here is generally pretty hard. And so I'm looking to pick a side and just getting myself back into side control. Right? I just want to be out of north-south, because being here is really hard to get out of. Like, I can try to create some space, and I can try and like get my feet to his hips, or like come off to the side and start pushing away. But honestly, the easiest option that I generally have is I'm just like picking a side letting him regain side control, and then just moving from here. I find that it works the most effective for me, but if you enjoy other north-south escapes, by all means, go for it. So play around with the fun, weird submissions.
Can you show the triangle one again?
Yes.
I'll show you later.
What? So, same way we did the first escape, I need to create some space. So, however it is that I do that, however it is that I get control of this arm, there happens to be tons of ways that it can happen. Like, I can be here, I can get my elbow to the inside, and I can start working his arm down. So this isn't the only way it works, but this is just one way that it works. I'm moving down, I'm rolling, and he puts that hand out. I'm just gonna grab it and bring my knee to the inside. And I'm looking for that elbow crease right here so I can start putting pressure on him this way. Now if he tries to turn into me and like get back to me, it's really hard because I have that arm. And then I'm stepping on his elbow. Keeping him down, stepping over. Any other questions? All right, grab everybody. Cross my ankles, whatever. If I have this medium mount, like he's gonna put one leg on the floor, he's gonna go fishing, right, and he's gonna look for an ankle. This isn't the end of the world, and we'll deal with this first, but I never want to be somewhere where this quarter guard can happen. If it does, couple things. One, I can automatically set in another butterfly hook. So as he goes to try and push my leg down, I can usually just pummel out to a knee on belly. Item number 2, the thing that I prefer a little bit more, particularly if I don't have control of this arm or this side, is in order to not give him back half guard, I'm going to backstep and be heavy on his knees. So now as he tries to open up his knees, my entire body weight is here, and it's just not going to be able to get there. If I can, I do enjoy figure fouring my legs, essentially, so that I can just be heavy and be a little bit more on top of them. I'm going to be cross-facing him. He's probably going to be turning into me, like here, so I'm just staying heavy. I can always roll towards his feet. Go for my back take. I can also roll through for my other back take. I have to bring the other leg with me though, just because it's not going to generally be something that he's wanting to turn into. So he gets that quarter guard. I'm just going to be heavy here. If I can figure 4. I can reach back, and I'm going for that bottom leg so that as we turn, we're still here in kind of this trunk position. And if I can, like last option essentially is most of the time when guys are pushing on this knee, they don't use their elbow, they use their hand. And so it flares their arm out a little bit. And I always get this underhook. So as he pushes that knee through, I just grab my underhook. I'm still chest to chest here. And so if I need to get back to mount, I can just insert my butterfly hook, hike up, and back down. Now I have this underhook that I can walk. Make sense? Sweet. Most of my mount attacks are going to come from this high-ish mount where my ankles are above his hips. So if he turns, he can't get to my ankles easily. It's not like they're not there, but it's just going to be hard. and we're starting to fight here. Now, if he's just in this position and I really can't get anything, yeah, I'll start going for my lapel chokes, collar chokes, whatever, because it's gonna make him react. If it's just in here and it doesn't really matter, you can just smother him. In competition, you can't really do that.
You can punch his neck. That's like illegal.
Exactly. You can also like just go for Ezekiel's. So we can be here. I can grab and go. I don't generally recommend these, especially in no-gi, because all he has to do is buck a little bit and like push me up and get his feet back into, and start getting back into either half guard or butterfly. And now he has double underhooks, and it's just like, I'm gripping on for dear life, and I've just given up all position just to go for it. So I don't find that it works frequently. It doesn't mean that it won't work entirely.
It sounds like you're only doing it to beat.
I'm only doing it to get his arms away from this Macaulay Culkin position. And so it's just kind of like, it's a thing I'll do, but I'm never looking to make it work. I'll go in, I'll start looking for it, and as soon as he starts moving, like, now we can go and start looking for our underhooks or whatever is up. Does that make sense? All right, as the guy on bottom, just be a little bit helpful. I'm gonna keep my feet where they can get easily reached. He's gonna grab it and go, and I'm going to, as the top person, choose whatever he gives me. If he gives me this wide elbow, a lot of space in between this arm, like, I want to be able to get that. I don't need to get all the way through right away, like just a little bit here, and as soon as he turns back into me, as he's pushing my knee through, it generally happens pretty easily on its own, and then I'm cross-facing, and putting in my butterfly hook, getting up, coming right back into mount. As he goes and gets that, once again, maybe he's starting to push with that knee. I don't want it, so I'm going to back up and just get down a little bit more. I can start fighting for my underhook on this side, that's fine. I can start to look for that figure four and turn, or pull him into me. And we can just be here. Make sense? You're welcome to ask your guy on bottom for a little bit more resistance. So have fun with it.
All of us defense.
Right. So it's hard to finish now, but all the time I'm looking to get to it. When am I getting my arm down and keeping my hand on the ground and just slowly creeping up? I want this elbow off the floor, because if it's down, what he's going to do is he's going to wrap it up and pull it to him, and then hopefully he's going to look to grab my ankle, and then we're just going to roll, and we're going. So that's why I want my elbow up. He can't just snatch it and roll when we're here. However, if he bridges to get this elbow inside, like he's going to be able to do so. So as I'm moving up, I feel him about to bridge, I hunker down, and then as soon as we reset, I'm right back up. We have to get used to dropping when we need to and coming back up. So the first thing I want you to do is just establish a little bit of an underhook. Start crawling your hand up. Bottom guy, I want you to actually give me a decent bridge. I feel like you're trying to get that elbow back in, and then I'm just going to save it and then back up. If I just stick around here, I want you to pull that in, and I want you to try and roll. Exactly. This hand doesn't leave the ground, so I'm not pulling up and looking to push. I am crawling for every inch. And I am looking to get that hand all the way over to the other side and basically touch my elbow before I bring my head over. Because if we're here, his arm is all the way out here, getting my head over is just a pain in the ass. And a lot of times I don't get it. So I just want to walk all the way over, bring my head to the other side of the the elbow, and then just sink down, and I'm keep my hand up just a little bit so he can't just go over the top of my head and swing it back through. So I'm just here for a hot second as I pull it down and I pull him down. And if we move, like if he bucks at all, like I can just post out, and now I'm safe here, keeping my head pinched to his tricep. From here, depends on personal preference, I just basically make a knife blade, grab it, and then I'll push my hips up to his knees, just to sink my shoulder low, and I'm gonna sink it underneath his chin. And if I can't finish it from here, I don't like to dismount a lot, because as soon as I try to dismount, he might try to harass my feet, yeah. But he's also going to just like get up onto his side a little bit more and try and pull that arm through. And I've given up a great position. So it's not my preference to dismount. You can, if you want to, you can still stay tight. It's just a risk that you run, particularly if your squeeze isn't that strong. And if he's answering the phone to be able to try and stop this choke, generally this doesn't dissuade me too much. Oftentimes I'll just go to grab the wrist, pull it in, and I'm looking for a wrist here just to get on it. And oftentimes, because I'm fucking with this wrist, he's gonna push his arm across his head for me, and now that's not a problem. We'll go more over this in a second, and I just want you to get some reps getting the arm up and just like being here, feeling when he's about to tense up and he's about to go, sinking down, and then right back up. And then he goes again. And if he gets it all the way down, cool. Like I just start again. If you don't want a whole lot of resistance, talk to your guy, get comfortable with it. If you want a little bit more resistance, give a little bit more. And so just talk to your buddy, see what you can and can't get, and see what feels good. And then go for like 1 or 2 finishes. And if you can't get it, we're gonna go over other things for what you can get. To his left side, because this is a way to defend this. If he's on his side, it's a lot harder. There are kind of 2 options that I have. The better one, the one that I prefer, he's so far on his side now that I'm just going to scoot up, turn, and sit down. And now my foot is on his far hip. I don't want it being lazy right here because he's just going to step over it right here. Pain in the ass. So always be meticulous with where your feet are, and it will save you from having to work harder in the long run. Be lazy. So we're here. If he's all the way over here, I can bring my knee up and I can like go for my gift wrap. Yeah, easy. I'm just gonna take it back. A slightly different approach is really going all in on the head and arm choke. Like I can get deeper and I can start to go for a kind of a rear naked choke, and I'm gonna pull him up into me and fall kind of to the side and just finish it from here. It's nice.
This is a rear naked choke underneath.
Yes. It's a head and arm.
Okay.
With rear naked grips, and if I can, I want a body triangle. So then he's really stuck. It doesn't always work, but you have most of the back, so you can oftentimes shimmy there. But as we're going for it, we're here, it kind of pops up, and I'm just going to go for my rear naked choke. I'm going to kind of lean back and fall, and if I can, body triangle, and just kind of squeeze. If he has a large neck, shoulders, traps, whatever, and you can't get your arm there, maybe not the best option for you. but still an option. Number 2, maybe he doesn't turn to his side and he's just comfortable here. I'm gonna bring my knee up and then I'm gonna pop my head up so he brings his arm to the other outside and I'm right here. I want his arm on the outside. So that as I pop up and step up, everything about my triangle becomes so much easier to do. I have this arm, I can reach back and I can go for my Kimura, but I can also push this down, pop up, swing over, and then now I have this post. I grab, I bring my forehead to the mat, so now I'm really stable. If he drives into me hard, it really doesn't matter. And then just bring my leg around and finish. If I can, I'll keep this arm here so that as I come back up, I can arm bar and triangle at the same time so that it's even worse for him. Now you can absolutely still finish the triangle. Like he gets up to the side, you come, you get wrap. Like I can still like heel toe, get up, get this locked in, get high, fall, and finish from here. The other way is easier though. There's so much material and both of his hands are in the way. If we're here, like me trying to get through here, he might just like start gripping my feet, like not let me through. As I work my head and arm up, he wants to get back. So I'm getting up, and I'm just feeding through. Awesome. And now I'm stepping up. I want my knees to squeeze together. I want to keep him close to me. And we can go for the Monoplata. I'm just going to bring his arm in here. And I'm going to lock my feet on this shoulder as I fall down. So I'm switching up, I'm locking that down, and I'm falling. My hand, I'm not looking to grip onto his arm, I'm just fist into his wrist. If my feet are this way, he can push this leg off a lot easier. If my feet are this way, I don't go so far. I want to bring my hips all the way up to his shoulder, so I'm going to grab his shoulder, and I'm just going to move my elbow in, my hips all the way up. This is already uncomfortable for him. So what I'm going to do is just bring my foot out from behind his head, and my knee all the way out to the side. If I'm here, he's still resting on my foot essentially. And so as I drive my knee down, his head doesn't have far to go. If I bring it out, my knee all the way out, so that I'm underneath his elbow, I can squeeze this pressure, and I should get the tap.
What's making your tap? Is it the shoulder?
It's the shoulder. It's it more with the legs. And then Carl just tried to do it with Dex, but Dex is a large human being. If I don't like this, but I still want to do something, like I can get up to my kind of combat stance, swing my leg over, and we're in our Omoplata. Whether we're here or not, you know, we can do a lot of other neat things. And then if he gets up and rolls, we can just be right back on top. Questions on the series? Yes. The head and arm show. So it's still the head and arm. Everything is the same.
When you're doing that, when it turns, triangle.
It's a backtake?
Oh, the triangle?
Yeah.
The triangle. So I'm up here. And if he turns here, I'm not gonna get the one I want. So I'm just gonna start going for my gift wrap and everything. He's kind of eliminated my desired track. If we stay here though, and maybe I haven't got the arm all the way over yet, maybe we're here, I can still let him take that arm back and be here. I'm looking to get up high on this shoulder and then just cover it. And I can lean away and pull him up, I can just be here. I don't have to pull up. I can just be up high. Now this arm is the only thing stopping me from stepping over. And I can do it meticulously. Or, as soon as I grab this arm, he's pushing, pulling, and I step over. And I'm lifting up with this head. I want to keep him close, and so I'm lifting up, so that as I'm stepping, I always get it. If I'm not, he's putting his head down, like I step up, like I don't really quite get the bite that I want, and I'm really shallow. I can still probably finish and just kind of like try and make myself get there, but it's so much more effort. And then if I'm here and I pull up on his head, just step through. I grab my ankle and I post with my head. I'm not slamming my head into the floor. I'm shrugging my shoulders, getting my traps to engage, and just like posting my head down. This makes my feet very light. So it makes getting into this triangle a lot easier. And then I can go for that arm bar as well. Questions, concerns, comments?
And is that second one?
Yes.
Side.
Hang on. Perfect. The head and honcho?
When you're on like your side, the Kimura.
Oh yeah. The Monoplata.
Yeah.
One of Victor's favorite. So I need him up on his side, here. And like I just want to bring my other knee up, and I want him to start to look away. So I just want to make that a little bit more uncomfortable. Bring his arms in a little bit. And I'm going to bring my foot. I'm going to switch my feet as I fall. So it's not like a slow motion thing, but essentially it's here, and I fall. And I want to stay heavy on this arm. And right now, I'm just blocking it from him getting it back. And then I'm looking to just fist his wrist. Just grabbing his shoulder, shoving my hips up into his armpit, and we're here. Now, I'm gonna remove my foot and bring my knee as far out underneath this elbow as possible, and then squeeze my knees together, pushing his head down. And like in a competition, you probably won't make a guy tap necessarily because breaking this is really hard in this position, but maybe he doesn't have great shoulders, or maybe you can just like go plata it a little bit, but watch your knees, watch your ACL, all that sort of thing.
I feel like what would happen if I was under a low stress is I was trying to hold towards you into a normal.
Yeah, and that
So
can,
I'm kind of giving you.
yeah, and like if you do, like, and then
So now I'm action. Because it doesn't feel like I can turn away and make use of this.
Yeah.
When I finish it, are you worried about him pushing the game?
not really, because I'm always worried about it, but I'm never concerned about it. Because once we get here and he starts to come up into me, like I'm trying to beat him on that turn. And I'm just like, if I can, as we turn, I'm trying to scoop his head, so as he turns, I'm pushing him down, and I'm here. And then we're all into our, Omoplata bullshit that you want to play with. Other questions? All right, grab your buddy.